Well, the Canadian federal election is now over, and it appears that we are going to have a Liberal minority government here in Canada. And this is what was predicted for about some time now. For a while, it was very close between the Liberals and the Conservatives, with the NDP at a usual distant third. Now, this means that Justin Trudeau will remain the Prime Minister of Canada for at least 4 more years. However, he will not be in the dominant position that he did before. This is going to be a minority government, which means anything that Trudeau tries to do, he has to get the consent, or at least the support, of another party in order to get it passed. Now, both the Liberals and the New Democratic Party have said they are willing to work as a coalition against the Conservative Party in order to forward their political interests. Now, this is probably the best possible outcome out of all possible scenarios with this election. Now, as I said previously, my decision was to simply vote against Andrew Scheer, the leader of the Conservative Party, because some of the positions he's taken were outright shockingly insane. Now, the position of his that caused me to actually want to make a vote in this election was his statement that he would be willing to go to war against Iran if the United States were to do so. Look, if the U.S. goes to war, Andrew Scheer said a conservative government would end up supporting them doing so and possibly even end up sending troops. So in the interest of anti-imperialism, I voted against that. That is not to say that the Liberals wouldn't ever do that, but it's extremely unlikely that a Liberal government would go to war in that kind of a situation. And also the NDP, much less likely to do so, etc., which is why I ended up voting NDP. Now, the riding that I'm in has traditionally been NDP for absolute decades, and it appears that we are going to remain NDP for at least the next 4 years on the federal level. But I noticed something interesting, that while for those decades, the place where I live has always been NDP, there's been a lot of people saying some really weird things, like, well, normally I vote NDP, but I don't want to vote for that turban-headed guy. That would, of course, be Jagmeet Singh. Because we're afraid that he's going to put the Sharia law into schools and convert people to Islam. Even though Jagmeet is Singh, and he's not Muslim. And that's something that I know that sentiment was always here. Like, I know that kind of racist sentiment has been around for some time, and it just really took one of the leaders of the major party to be a brown person for that to really come out. So I was really disappointed to hear that, even though I already knew it was there. But on the plus side, it was shown that the People's Party of Canada, more aptly named the White People's Party of Canada, because they're frankly neo-Nazis, didn't get any representation in government. Not a single seat. And that's a tremendously great thing. Because when you have a political party whose entire platform is immigration and stopping immigration, stopping brown people, well, I mean not stopping brown people, but stopping immigration in general, you're a white supremacist party. That's very, very obvious at this point. And the People's Party of Canada's connection to the Conservative Party really hurt Andrew Scheer, and may have even possibly cost him the election. Now, I'm not really certain how things would have turned out. But as it stands in Canada, for the most part, we are going to have somebody who at least moderately stands up to Donald Trump, whereas Andrew Scheer would bend over backwards for him and do whatever he said, as is usually the relationship between a Republican in the U.S. and a conservative in Canada, is, it's pretty much a dumb femme kind of relationship. So, at least for the most part, we will have basically what we already have now, with probably a little bit more checks and balances, thanks to the fact that the Liberals are in a minority government position. Thank you for watching. If you like this program, then please head over to my Patreon page and set up a monthly donation. It's your donations that keep this program running. Also, if you would like, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share in various social media.